What if I told you all the gold ever mined in human history could fit inside a single cube? Not a mountain, not a city, just a cube, small enough to sit in Washington, D.C. That's it. After 6,000 years of obsession, conquest, war, empires rising and falling, it all fits in one place. So here's the real question. If there's so little of it, why does the entire world still care so much? Gold didn't start on Earth. It was born in exploding stars, ancient supernovas that scattered heavy metals across space. Eventually, some of that stardust collided with Earth. That shiny yellow metal, it's literally cosmic debris, and it's different. Its electrons move so fast they absorb blue light and reflect red and yellow. That's why it shines like the sun. It doesn't rust, it doesn't tarnish, it doesn't decay. It's soft, dense, eternal. Humans noticed immediately. Across civilizations, independently, people fell under gold's spell. Inca called it the sweat of the sun. Egyptian rulers were buried in it. Temples were plated in it. Kings wore it. Healers consumed it trying to become immortal. It symbolized power, divinity, eternity. But then something changed. Gold stopped being decoration. It became money. Before gold, humans used cows as money. Yes, cows. They were useful. They fed you. They reproduced. They had real value. But cows are hard to divide, hard to transport, hard to store. Gold solved that. It was portable, divisible, durable, rare, but not too rare, universally desired. But here is the key. Gold doesn't feed you. It doesn't shelter you. It doesn't protect you. It only works because we believe it works. When two people believe gold has value, that belief turns metal into money. And that was one of the biggest psychological leaps in human history. In 1519, Spanish conquistadors landed in the Americas. They saw gold everywhere. To the Aztecs, gold was sacred decoration. To the Spanish, it was economic power. The result? Massacres, conquest. Empires built on melted statues and stamped coins. Gold fever spread across continents. California, Yukon, South Africa, Australia. Men left families, risked death, chased rumors of cities made of gold. Gold didn't just move markets, it moved civilizations. Eventually, carrying heavy gold coins became inconvenient. So banks introduced paper notes. I promise, you deposit gold, you receive paper, that paper represents gold in a vault. As long as everyone trusts the bank, it works. But then came financial panics, bank runs, people demanding gold all at once. That instability led to the creation of the central banking system. Then came the Great Depression, and here's where everything changed. During the Great Depression, governments were stuck. They couldn't print more money freely because every dollar was tied to gold. So in 1933, the gold standard ended domestically. Citizens were ordered to turn in gold. The dollar was no longer fully backed by metal. Money became something else entirely, not gold, not silver, but belief in government. This is called fiat money. Its value comes from trust. Trust in leadership, trust in institutions, trust in stability. That's a much bigger psychological leap than gold. After World War II, a new global system formed. The dollar became the world's reserve currency. Foreign governments could exchange dollars for gold. But by 1971, even that ended. The gold window closed. Since then, the entire global economy runs on paper backed by nothing but belief. Because belief isn't permanent. When inflation rises, when governments run massive deficits, when political instability increases, when central banks are questioned, people look for something outside the system. Gold doesn't rely on politicians. It doesn't depend on interest rates. It doesn't need policy meetings. It just exists. That's why central banks still hold it. That's why investors rush to it in uncertainty. It's not about nostalgia. It's about trust. Now there's a new contender. Bitcoin is often called digital gold. It's scarce. It's decentralized. It doesn't answer to governments. But it's still young, still volatile, still evolving. Gold has 6,000 years of psychological momentum. That's hard to compete with. We started with cows. We moved to gold, then paper backed by gold, then paper backed by government. Now we're experimenting with digital belief. Every step has been more abstract, but whenever trust shakes, we drift back to that shiny metal born from exploding stars. The cube may be small, but the belief behind it, that's massive. And maybe that's the real story of gold. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the psychology of money, hit subscribe. Because in the next video, we're breaking down something even more controversial. Is the current monetary system sustainable? Or are we heading toward another reset? And trust me, you'll want to understand that before everyone else does.